Hello, everyone. I'd like to introduce to you Paul Bowman, someone that cares about how we feel, how we move. He's someone I've known for several years now, and I think the most profound thing about what he does is he turns no's into yeses. I've been told personally that I've broken my toes, they won't move anymore. My bone spur in my shoulder is actually a terrible hook. I would have that pain the rest of my life. Bone spur in my heels, you're going to need surgery. Lots of body parts that have been damaged. I ride horses. But since I've met Paul, all those no's, without exception, have turned into yeses. I've been given the tools to move my broken toes that now move nicely. With his mobility expertise and there's that word, neurology expertise, and his education and his passion, his desire to see all of us just simply feel better and move better. My balance is superb. I do very well at physical things that I couldn't do before. And that's all because of what Paul has learned and what he has a great passion and a great desire to teach us, so that even if I get a hitch in my get along, I know how to fix it. So I'm very grateful for that. Paul Bowman, folks. Woo!
Hitch and a get along is going to be, I'm adding that to my list of phrases I got to use.
I've had lots of hitches, just so you know.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about working with you long term, some of the other stuff which I was thinking through. And you didn't even tell me because you just thought you couldn't do anything about it for the longest time, was the chronic facial pain.
Oh, it's gone, because I forget about it, Paul.
Yeah, no, but I mean, when we were
again,
we were working some nerves in the face just as kind of preventative, or if somebody had problems. And you had already worked with me for a long time, but never said anything, because afterwards you said, I never said anything because I didn't think there was anything you could do about it. And so that chronic face pain gone. Yeah.
And along with the chronic face pain gone, I no longer get headaches.
Nice. Yeah. And then the time where you would describe it as you felt like a pit bull was biting on your hip.
Yeah. I remember that. That's pretty recent.
Yeah. And then the back pain when rolling into things like plow position. Yeah.
Yes. And this morning's class, did you see my feet up in the air? Woo!
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah. All right. So I think we've covered it all for you. And then currently, historically, you haven't had blood pressure issues, but I think with the stress of the current world situation going on, I would say that's probably a big trigger for you. So you've had some recent blood pressure issues that we're working on. And then you have chronic tinnitus, which we're working on and we will continue to work on. In all of that, yes, that feeling better, but what have you learned? What have you been your aha moments? Especially like always our messages or mission is kind of in doing these kind of conversations is to like, most of this stuff is not mainstream. Most of this is unheard of for most people, sadly. So what were your aha moments in discovering how to fix all those aches and pains?
It was easy. I mean, sincerely, but I mean, if you know what you're doing, obviously, but these are exercises I've never seen before. Never heard of Z-Health before. And so for me, realizing that, oh, I can sit at home and do this, and I don't have to do it for 20 or 30 minutes. We're talking 30 seconds, 90 seconds, a couple of minutes. And if I feel any of those, is that the cat's tail?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
But yes, but truly is the fact that this is sort of like rocket science, because it's so out there, but it's not. Anybody can do it. It's like getting fixed for dummies.
Yeah. And once that said, I'll put that in perspective in the bigger picture too, because you've gone through a lot of different drills, and many of them didn't work, or many of them we had to tweak. So, but yes, once you do go through it and find the ones that work for you and how to work them for you, yeah, it can be very simple. Yeah. And even I think, yeah, when most people realize what actually, and it's unique to everybody and everybody's situation, but when you realize like, hey, just moving my wrist a certain way, or moving my foot a certain way, or moving my eyes a certain way, or moving my neck a certain way can make drastic changes. And like you, for everything we said, your shoulder, your heel, your hip, your back, your face. Yeah.
I mean, just go with something simple as my shoulders are down, they're back, my feet are straight when I walk. I don't walk like a duck. Sorry to anybody that does, but you know, it's just making all the parts fit. I was thinking today of a puzzle. You see the cover on the box, and it's really pretty. Okay, so you dump all the puzzle pieces out, and guess what? There's a stinking piece missing, right? So the whole puzzle's kind of not any good. It doesn't really go well. You can try to do whatever you want, but that piece is still missing. So I can go to the gym and I can have muscles out the yazoo. I'm not sure what the yazoo is. We may want to change that word. But anyway, and get all these muscles built up. But if I don't do the mobility neurology things that you've taught me, I'm still stuck. And so my puzzle pieces don't all work together. To think that my big toe can affect my left knee that affects my right shoulder is bizarre. But we both know that's true.
Yeah. So I love that analogy, and the analogy that the reality is everybody knows everything's connected, and everything affects everything, but sometimes a little, sometimes a lot. And you have discovered that, yeah. So can something in your wrist affect anywhere else in your body? Yes. Can something in your foot affect everywhere else in your body? Can how your eyes move affect everything in your body? Yeah. And sometimes in a huge way. And so, yes, finding those pieces, missing pieces of the puzzle, or fixing those pieces of the puzzle makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Because it hurts my heart to hear people say, oh, I just have to live with this for the rest of my life. No, you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah, we've had
hurts.
that
I
conversation.
want to just go, no, stop. Don't accept that. Don't. So,
Um, Anything else about chronic pain before I ask you about some other stuff that we've been talking about?
no, just that you don't have to live with it, period. I mean,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, and wait, and we've been conditioned to settle, and settle for suffering, or settle for pills, or settle for drugs, or settle for shots or surgeries, and as good as sometimes some of those can be, it's not our best options typically.
Yeah. And you know, when I first joined the exercise class a couple of years ago, that remember I told you I was actually scheduled for bone spur surgery on my left heel. I never had that surgery, and I actually forgot that the left foot doesn't bother me at all. So
Very nice.